WVUE, the one to watch.
This is News 8 with Margaret Dubuisson, John Snell, Jim Gallagher on sports, and Bob Breck with the weather. Now, News 8 at 10.
Good evening. Business at Harrah's appears to be improving tonight, but June revenue numbers for the casino still fall below projections.
Harrah's officials say they're battling an image that they're located in a high-crime district. News 8's John Huffman has the story.
The good news for Harrah's, income during their second month of operation was up over their surprisingly weak first month. The bad news, it wasn't up by much. June brought in a little more than $13 million compared to May's figure of around $11 million. That translates to an 18% growth rate, but still far short of the $33 million a month the company would like to hit.
But we're still bullish. We're going to build a business, and that's our reputation in other markets, getting those loyal customers.
Harrah's officials admit that one of their problems may be location. Many locals still think of Armstrong Park as a very dangerous place to go.
There is some reluctance to visit that section of the New Orleans venue, and I think we are overcoming that, but it's going to take some time to build confidence in the location.
It's not really a deserved reputation. Harrah's has greatly stepped up police and security patrols for blocks around the casino. Not one serious crime has been reported on casino grounds since it opened, although nearly 500,000 people have passed through Harrah's doors. Still, old reputations die hard.
I lived down here about 20 years. So I know this used to be bad, especially you got a project not too far from here.
Do you feel unsafe now?
No, now you got a police department right here, you got out of patrol, and I think they could do a good to the community.
One especially bright spot in Harrah's June report, their win per person. That's the amount of money the average gambler loses at the casino. June's win was around $60 a head. In the gaming industry, any win higher than $50 per person is considered very healthy. Reporting from Harrah's Casino, John Huffman, News 8.
Potential buyers are lining up to try to get into riverboat gaming in St. Bernard Parish. Among them, New Orleans restaurant executive Al Copeland. He's written to the Riverboat Gaming Commission because he's interested in getting the gaming license that Circus gave up yesterday. Two other companies, Horseshoe Entertainment and Players International, are also showing interest.
The latest poll on the governor's race puts Buddy Roemer in front, but four other candidates are all knotted up in a contest for second place. The Mason-Dixon poll has Roemer with 24% of the vote. Mary Landrieu trails Roemer at 13% to 12% for Melinda Schwegman. The poll has Cleo Fields moving up in the numbers to 11%, and Harry Lee moves into double digits with 10%. The error margin of 3.5% puts Lee and Fields within striking distance of second place. A mysterious death tonight in New Orleans about a block off Canal Street. About an hour ago, a man's body was found inside a burned-out house on Iberville Street. However, fire and police investigators say the victim may have been murdered. They're also looking into the possibility that the fire may have been deliberately set. Right now, the death is being called unclassified, and police hope an autopsy tomorrow gives them more clues about what happened.
3 children left alone in a hot car today are recovering at home tonight. The youngsters were dazed and weak when they were rescued by a downtown parking lot attendant who happened to see the car with all the windows sealed and the kids sweltering inside. Their 22-year-old babysitter, Jermaine Hampton, allegedly left the children for about an hour while he went to get something to eat and to run errands. He was booked with 3 counts of child neglect. In just 12 hours, the State Mineral Board is set to make a major decision on the future of Lake Pontchartrain. The board will decide whether to allow new oil drilling in the lake. Tonight, one company that wants the drilling ban lifted is accused of having a long record of oil spills. Senator Ken Hollis of Metairie and the Lake Pontchartrain Basin Foundation are asking the Traver Oil Company not be allowed to resume drilling in the lake. Senator Hollis says Traver has a poor environmental record and was cited for spilling oil on one of its existing platforms just 3 weeks ago.
In the past 3 years, he's had 15 violations that are known violations. I have no idea how many other violations he had that he's not been cited on.
The Mineral Board is expected to vote on Traver's request tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. It won't be long now before thousands of teachers and state workers get their long-awaited one-time pay bonus. The checks go in the mail Thursday. The money to cover the checks is coming from a $125 million payment to the state in casino revenue. After some long delays, the state sports stadium package is about to move on to the fast track.
Thursday, the State Bond Commission takes up the stadium projects. In tonight's in-depth segment, an update on where the projects stand and is the fight really over? Sports fans in New Orleans are used to the old saying, just wait till next year. In this case, next year should bring a new home for the AAA Zephyrs.
And I think it means a lot. I think the new stadium will bring more fans to the ballpark also. So I think we're good for the economy, good for everybody, good for the fans. The city's great for the fans.
The baseball stadium is part of a $155 million package of sports and recreational facilities in New Orleans and Jefferson Parish. There are 8 projects in all, including the $20 million stadium, another $20 million in Superdome renovations, and by far the most controversial part of the package, an $84 million sports arena next to the Superdome. Time is of the essence. Pro baseball rules require the Z's to play in a 10,000-seat stadium by next season. Team owner Rob Kuig's confident everything will work out.
Every indication we've gotten is that they're prepared to vote on it.
Backers of the plan see it as a stroke of political genius. In this anti-tax era, the money for the projects would come from out-of-towners, an existing tax on the city's hotels, same method used to pay for the Superdome. So far, the only physical evidence of the projects is the clearing of trees at the Saints' new training facility. The Bond Commission's already okayed that $6 million project.
We're still looking at around March 1st to get in.
It's not clear just when work will begin on the rest of the sports projects. The state may finance them all at once, or it may sell bonds for the projects one at a time. Some people who've been following this process say as early as Thursday, the Bond Commission could signal that everything's on track for the baseball stadium. We also may get a better idea of the timetable for the other projects. But this story has taken so many twists and turns over the last couple years, it's difficult to get anybody to predict exactly what will happen. Just last month, supporters beat back an effort in the legislature to kill the sports arena. Opponents complain the state's throwing away $84 million on a building with no tenant. But backers of the plan see it as New Orleans' best hope for landing pro basketball. Dave Dixon led the fight for the Superdome 30 years ago. You subscribe to the build it and they will come theory.
Oh, definitely. In fact, don't build it and they positively will not come. There's not a chance that we would get an NBA franchise or a National Hockey League franchise.
Supporters say the stadium opens up whole new entertainment possibilities. Today, New Orleans misses out on some of the big-name concert acts who find UNO's Lakefront Arena too small, but who aren't about to try to fill the Superdome.
Either way, it would be a success. And New Orleans is the only major city in America today that doesn't have an arena of this type. So we must be, they can't all be wrong.
The fight reminds Dixon and some other people of the fight over the dome so many years ago, many of the same arguments.
Could this still be killed?
There is a possibility depending on how the Bond Commission times it out. The legislature's approved it, but you have a new governor coming in, and if it's not timed right, if you will, for the project, that the new governor could conceivably kill it, but the feeling is that it's so far down the tracks that there's no stopping this train.
All right, John. New Orleans police officer Abrace Daniel is back on the force tonight, nearly 4 months after being accused of sexually assaulting a Tulane student. Daniel, who was suspended right after the alleged incident, is no longer facing the sex charge, so today the department decided to reinstate him. Daniel's attorney says it's about time.
He didn't do anything. For him to remain loyal to the department and to the city of New Orleans is remarkable. And I think we are fortunate to have an officer like this on our force.
Daniel's a 7-year veteran of the force. He's still facing a charge of malfeasance, and he'll go on trial next month.
Two very different schools of thought tonight on the announcement from President Clinton that he wants to restore diplomatic ties with Vietnam. The president says this will help answer questions about the 2,200 GIs still listed as missing in action. However, the nation's largest veterans group, the American Legion, is very much against normalizing relations with the Hanoi government.
At the O.J. Simpson trial, a witness for the defense says he heard a gate slam and 2 men arguing the night Nicole Brown Simpson was killed. Robert Heidstra says he was out walking his dog at about 10:40 on the night of June 16th, when he heard strange noises. Defense attorneys hope testimony from Heidstra and others will indicate that the murders took place later than suggested by prosecutors. Actor Hugh Grant, who appeared before millions of TV viewers last night on The Tonight Show, was a no-show today in a Los Angeles courtroom. Instead, Grant's attorney entered a no-contest plea to charges stemming from his arrest with a prostitute. It was Grant's first offense, so he received no jail time, but he has to pay nearly $1,200 in fines, spend 2 years on unsupervised probation, and complete an AIDS education program.
Coming up on News 8, some local families are worried that the price of progress might be too high in their neighborhood.
We'll have that story next, and later we'll have this.
A patriotic celebration takes place on the North Shore this evening. I'm Brichette Pellette, and we'll have more later on New Orleans at Night.
The Mazda B2300 SE is a lot like a pair of blue jeans. Comfortable, rugged, and looks best with wear and tear. Plow through some mud, attack a few mountainsides, and it's going to look great. And right now with air, cassette radio, alloy wheels, white leather tires, plus cash back, you'll save over $2,000. But just like blue jeans, a fit this good is rare, so you better hurry. Come on, what's the deal?
The Mazda Summer Savings Deal. Save over $2,000 on the Mazda B2300.
Does Social Security provide benefits for working people who become disabled? Yes, but it helps to know the law when applying for benefits. Attorney Matt Greenbaum practices Social Security disability law, and he knows how to make the system work for you. If you feel you're entitled to disability benefits, call Matt Greenbaum. There's no fee unless your case is won. Call the attorneys who understand Social Security disability to help you get your benefits. Remember, it's your money.
There's something going on up there you need to know about. It's costing you money and affecting your comfort. Ductwork leakage. The ductwork that carries cool air can be leaking into the attic, causing your air conditioner to work overtime trying to cool your house. That can cause high energy bills. To fix it, use this tape and mastic to permanently seal up the leaks.
For more energy-saving tips, call this number for your free copy of Home Remedies, Smart Ways to Manage Your Energy Costs.
Brought to you by Entergy.
This is Mort. This is Mort's new car. New house, new boat, new pool, new friend, new life. How did he do it? He opened a checking account at Jefferson Guaranty Bank. Qualified him for JGB Light loans. Loans with lower rates, loans with lower down payments. JGB Light's everything you want in a loan, but less. And less loan means more. Ask your bank for a light loan, and if they won't change, just change banks. Jefferson Guaranty Bank, member FDIC.
Had they only sampled its precise handling, they might have named it Import Car of the Day. Had they just heard its quiet cabin, they might have named it Import Car of the Week. And had they merely felt its powerful V6 engine, they might have named it Import Car of the Month. But they experienced all of it. And so we present to you the Nissan Maxima, Motor Trend's Import Car of the Year.
Some people in Central City have big concerns about expressway construction and the impact it might have on their homes and families.
Councilman Oliver Thomas took part in a neighborhood task force tour to keep tabs on the work near Union Passenger Terminal. The goal is to make sure that the project enhances the neighborhood. They're also looking for some of the jobs that go along with it. The task force will meet monthly to make sure that the ramps now being built won't cut off the area from the rest of the city. All right, Bob's in now, and the temperature trend is down.
Towards the end of the week.
The end of the week.
Not tomorrow. Tomorrow we're still going to be up there.
Going to plunge down to like 94 or something.
Well, we're in a heat wave. Let me show you what it's been happening, what it's been doing around here. For the past 5 days, we've been above 95. 3 out of those days, we've had records out at the airport in Kenner beginning on Saturday. And you notice we got into the heat wave on Friday, and we're in it today. Whew, it was a scorcher. That 98 did tie the record out in Kenner. It was last set in 1980. A number of spots were even higher. It was 100 at Stennis, 99 at City Park. Macomb, 98, along with Homa, shared that high temperature today at the airport in Kenner. And tomorrow we could be equally as warm. The record in Kenner is 99, so we probably won't do it. We don't cool off very much at night. Some spots, especially near the lake, don't even get below the 80-degree mark. And look at this tonight. Everybody is above 80. The heat index out in Kenner is 96. At Lakefront Airport, it is 100 yet. Makes it feel like 100, and we have no winds. Whew, my goodness, it is very stuffy outside tonight. Well, we did have a few showers around today, but not many. In fact, this evening, a couple were on the North Shore, and they quickly faded. You can see them rumbling there. The main showers today were out to our east, and these have diminished now. But what you notice is the direction is that way. Tomorrow the direction should be more like this. What we're beginning to see is a shift in the wind pattern. Storms off the coast this morning, refired during the day, but you do see this shift from, they were moving from the north to the south. They're now almost coming in from the northeast to the southwest for today, and that's going to change and turn around. Remember yesterday we had a little low right in here. Hard to find today. There's a little low up in the upper area of the atmosphere, but more importantly, look down over this area of the Gulf. There's a little twist in the clouds down here. We're going to colorize this for you and show you that there is a very weak circulation right down in this area. You see it right there in this area of the Gulf. Apparently a little low is trying to form down here. A tropical wave is moving and interacting with it. If anything, this should pull on westward into Mexico and not affect us. We have this upper low right in through here. This should start backing to the west. The tropics normally get more active as we get into July, and indeed that is happening tonight. Puerto Rico right here, here's the islands. There's a strong tropical wave, and again, there appears to be a little twist in this system way out in the Atlantic. Now, tonight's colorized view will show you that this definitely has a very compact, almost circular pattern to it. That indicates that apparently it is starting to strengthen. Hurricane Center is going to send a plane out there tomorrow to see if anything's cooking. It's about the same spot that Hurricane Andrew formed a couple of years ago. Back over the states, you still have this pattern of a big upper high here, a trough over here. The upper high is going to shift eastward, so you see the way the trough dives down. That ought to move away from us. So what we should see is the easterlies coming back in here, and all the action that's to our east should start shifting westward, and that should mean that towards the end of the week, maybe as soon as Thursday, we'll start to see more active showers and thunderstorms. And that's good news because record heat over much of the country. We had 22 cities. These are the highs. 22 cities were above 100 today. Now, we weren't one of them, but we came plenty close. Oh, my goodness. Partly cloudy. Nothing like the summer of 1980, though. Steamy tonight. Some spots staying above 80. Tomorrow, a day like today, few if any showers, which means we'll be flirting, might even nip 100 in some locations once again, but the change comes after that. I think the showers start to increase a little bit on Thursday and even more so for the weekend. So it means, John, you watch it less hot. 92. Oh, get out those sweaters. You can hardly wait. I hear you. We have marine conditions tomorrow that look pretty decent. If you're going out, they're going to start swinging around to the east by late in the day. First time in a long time.
I'm sorry, I'm not applauding for 92.
It's an improvement.
Turn up the heat. Say balmy, actually. All right, maybe not.
Baseball fans have been slow to come back after the strike, but they enjoyed tonight's game.
Yeah,
All Stars put on a show.
Nice show, and it was a little warm today in Arlington. They are trying to get the fans back. It's going to take a while, but it was a good one tonight. We'll have the All-Star highlights for you, plus an update on the Saints and free agent Byron Evans. Sports is coming your way next.
News 8 weather has been brought to you by Turo.
We've been in New Orleans for over 140 years. But one thing is obvious. This city needs a good hospital.
Like these angry Dobermen, violent criminals threaten our safety. But because of jail overcrowding, the federal courts have ordered Jefferson Parish to release nearly 250 felons every month. On July 15th, Proposition 1 will let you decide how to handle this problem. A yes vote means you support a quarter-cent sales tax to build a new jail for these criminals. A no vote means they go free. Proposition 1, July 15th. Yes or no?
The Paris to Dakar rally is considered the most grueling race on earth. Now they tell us. We just thought it might be a fun way to find out how tough our new Kia Sportage was. Besides, we always wanted to see Paris. Throughout the race, our on-off road suspension got a thorough workout. Four-wheel drive engaged easily. And our powerful overhead cam engine got us through thick and thicker. Over the course of the 16-day race, over a third of the field dropped out, but we completed the course, along with Cherokees and Pathfinders, among other things. It seemed our Sportage could have gone on forever, unlike our drivers. And though we didn't come in first, we were the only one to come in under 14,500. Introducing Sportage from Kia. Call for the dealer nearest you.
Pitchers were killing them, huh, Jim?
Yeah, it was there was a lot of heat on the field from the pitchers. It was actually a real good ball game, and as much trouble.
A lot of heat on the field.
A lot of heat. As much trouble as that they've had with the fans and just with trying to keep baseball together. This was really a nice first step. Attendance is down throughout the league. The fans still haven't forgiven the game of baseball for canceling the end of last year's season. But tonight, the best the game has to offer tried to heal a few wounds in the annual Summer Classic. Over 100 degrees in Arlington tonight. Fans doing everything they could to keep cool in the stands. You want to talk a little heat? How about Nolan Ryan warming it up about 85 miles an hour in the shirt and tie? The real heat, though, the Dodgers' Hideo Nomo here with Albert Bell, the former LSU slugger, has to take an early seat. Frank Thomas won the home run contest. This is why. Fourth inning gives the American League a 2-0 lead with the blast. National League did make it a little closer. It was 2-1 when we go to the seventh. Dodgers' Mike Piazza, check this swing out, man. I mean, he's on his toes and gets it out of the yard. 2-2. Game-winning home run, though, came here in the eighth. National League takes the lead. Jeff Conine, the Marlins slugger, drops the bomb. 3-2 National League at that point. Came down to the bottom of the ninth. And Randy Myers shuts the door on the American League. He gets the pop fly from Mike Stanley, and that's the way it ended. 3-2 the final. National League meets the American League for the second year in a row. Mickey Mantle was one of baseball's all-time best, but 40 years of hard drinking and living almost cost him his life. Last month, Mantle underwent a liver transplant. Today, he spoke publicly for the first time. He said he doesn't want anyone following in his footsteps.
Talk about a role model. This is a role model. Don't be like me, you know. I mean, God gave me a body, ability to play baseball, and that's what I wanted to do. Give me everything, and I just...
Mickey Mantle is a long way from being fully recovered, but he did say he is grateful for the thousands of get-well wishes he has received in the hospital. Well, in 9 days, the Saints report to training camp in La Crosse, Wisconsin. At this point, they've still got all 7 draft picks and 7 free agents still unsigned. But every agent I spoke to today expects a lot of activity later this week. Meanwhile, the Saints continue to negotiate with unrestricted free agent Byron Evans. The All-Pro linebackers agent Bert Kernert told me today that his client is genuinely interested in coming to New Orleans. Last night, the Saints took the Eagles took the transitional designation off of Evans. Now, that means they no longer have a $1.2 million offer on the table. The Saints now feel that should lower the price on Evans a little bit. Today, Saints Vice President Jim Miller told our Lionel Bienvenu that the team has started negotiations with Evans, but they've got a long ways to go.
It's too early to say. It's just, as I said, we're studying it. We're looking hard at what we can do, if we can do it, and what the agent and the player have in mind monetarily. And if we can get to an accommodation, we will. But, if we can't, I think we're in good shape.
Miller also said that fullback Lorenzo Neal faces no action from the club after an altercation in Merced, California on July 1st left O'Neal with 4 to 5 stitches in his arm from a knife wound. Neal's friend Pete Zapopoulos suffered a stab wound that eventually punctured his colon in this altercation. Neal did run away from the fight. Today, the Saints said that he was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time. At the Pontchartrain Center this afternoon, they inducted the 2 newest members of the Saints Hall of Fame. Doug Atkins started every game at defensive end for the original Saints in '67. He played through the '69 season. Bob Pollard led the Saints in sacks 5 times. He started 77 straight games between these 71 and 77 seasons. Today, they unveiled both their busts, and they took their place among the Saints' all-time great players. Seattle Seahawks wide receiver Brian Blades spoke today for the first time since his cousin was shot and killed in the Blades home July 5th. Charles Blades died of a gunshot wound that police have classified as a homicide. Police say 2 shots were fired, but Brian Blades says the shooting was an accident.
The gun that shot Charles was a gun that I owned. Neither Charles nor I ever intended that Charles would be shot. Neither Charles nor I thought Charles would be shot.
Blade said today he was still trying to break up a fight between Charles and his girlfriend when the gun went off. He's still not answered any questions from police, though, so there are still some questions out there.
All right, Jim, and we'll be right back.
We know that gambling is not our future. Education is. But to improve our schools, we need to make some changes. Teach the basics, restore accountability, cut the bureaucracy and put that money in the classroom, and give parents and teachers more say at the local level. We need to get computers and discipline in and drugs and violence out.
As governor, improving education will be Mary Landrieu's top priority. As a mother, she knows building a better future must start now.
Choosing a health care plan can be a knotty problem. A very knotty problem. It doesn't have to be. One plan gives you the care you want, where you want it, at a price you can afford. One plan cuts through all the confusion. The Oxner Sisters of Charity Health Plan. Ask your employer or call for more information.
Snow will be increasing throughout the metro area. Heavy thunderstorms with possible strong winds and hail will be moving through the area.
When you want to do it yourself, but you don't want to be under the weather, let Jiffy Lube change your oil with Pennzoil. That's why if it doesn't say Jiffy Lube, it just isn't Jiffy Lube.
Come to Jiffy Lube for fast, reliable air conditioner service. No appointment necessary.
In a single year, 93% of our toxic chemical waste was treated, converted to energy, or recycled. What about the other 7%? We're working on it. The 180 members and partners of the Chemical Manufacturers Association, working for change.
From Dallas to Atlanta, we're driving down prices during the Hyundai Summer Drive. Get $1,000 factory cash or 2.9% financing on an airbag-equipped Elantra. $1,000 factory cash on a roomy Sonata. Even the new high-tech Accent starts under $8,500. And you can choose between no money down or no monthly payments for 90 days. But if you don't get to the Summer Drive, you'll be in a terrible state. See your Hyundai dealer now for factory cash incentives up to $1,000 during the Hyundai Summer Drive.
Tonight on the North Shore, it still feels a lot like Independence Day.
The credit goes to a patriotic group of entertainers, as News 8's Brigitte Palette explains in New Orleans at night.
The 4th of July may be over, but the spirit of America is kept alive on the North Shore tonight through the sights and sounds of the arts.
Every time I hear the spirit
Of Thee I Sing was the title of tonight's performance, bringing together music, art, and a little storytelling.
The storm stopped. The sea became calm.
It's the second concert, and the theme is the 4th of July kind of theme, an Americana theme. And the cover poster that they asked me to do has the flag in the background.
Did you go to the first concert?
Yes, we were here for that one also and enjoyed it very much, and that's why we're making this return visit.
It was sold out last time and this time.
So it just seems like the crowds are getting bigger and bigger.
Yes, it's a wonderful performance. I think that's why it's going to continue to bring a good crowd.
I don't think that you could ask for a better performance of a small choir or a choral group.
Me and my cousins were over there just enjoying the artwork, and we're enjoying the singing.
I think the connection between all of the arts depends on the artist trying to build harmony and variety and contrast, and that happens in music and in the visual arts as well. So, you know, it's right for it to be together.
Concert of the North Lake Performing Arts Society, and they're playing to back-to-back sellouts. People are already looking forward to their Christmas concert. This is Brigitte Palette reporting from the North Shore for New Orleans at night.
Maybe you don't agree that bald is beautiful.
We'll find out what Margaret means by that and have a medical update next on News 8.
Remember when you could buy a soda, drink it,